Welcome to Moab! I haven't been on a 29er in a long time. It feels good. I am riding by the light of the moon.
Woo! Ride it like you stole it.
Well, that's the race.
So we just rolled up to the race venue for this weekend, and the first thing we saw was our friend Lee. She's stuck in a giant mud puddle. So where'd you get stuck the first time, Lee? Over here. Left wasn't the line. All right, Macky, what is our pre-race slash
we gotta warm up strategy? A little bit.
Do your warm-up exercise. and then what? Like, walk me through the strategy.
Walk you through
here.
the strategy.
Okay.
So first we're gonna remove the bikes.
Yeah.
So that we can push. Lee is gonna drive, and then we're gonna push and sprint as fast as we can. And she's gonna aim like right wheel on this spot that doesn't have any tire tracks yet.
Okay.
She's just gonna go as fast as she can, and we're gonna sprint as hard as we can.
So what's the probability that one or both of us fall face first into the puddle?
I'd say fairly low.
You guys are awesome. That was great.
Welcome to Moab. Hooray! Welcome back to our channel. I am Macky. That is Sid. I think it's gonna be a pretty good Moab trip. That's just the feeling I'm getting. We're debating whether or not we should go through the puddle the opposite direction that Lee just did, because that's where the good camping is. As Sid said, the smart decision would be to just go camp in one of these boring parking lots for tonight, and tomorrow to go out there. But the fun decision...
As you guys probably could have predicted, Macky has decided to drive through the puddle. It's gonna be a little embarrassing if we get stuck.
Sid gave her stamp of approval, but I think it might have just been because she wanted to watch me get stuck in a puddle. Woohoo! Made it!
We made it!
Made it!
This is what it takes to get a good campsite when you're living
Right,
in.
you have to sacrifice sometimes.
Sacrifice and take risks and live on the wild side.
Seize the moment.
Be more awesome. I don't know if this is more awesome. This is being more muddy. Oh, that was a huge splash. So it is Friday. Enduro Cup in Moab is tomorrow. We went out and pre-rode yesterday, and unfortunately I was definitely getting some knee pain, so I have decided to not race tomorrow. In the past, I definitely would have just done the race anyway. I am, however, getting smarter and really don't think there's anything to be gained from racing this weekend. Last year I did a lot of pushing through things and ended up with pretty bad case of overtraining syndrome. That's why we've been so focused this year on recovery and taking time off and not being on the bike all winter, because basically I dug myself a really deep hole and got really sick for a long period of time. This year, when we sort of set our schedule, it was definitely with the thought of like, I'm gonna do what I can do and not do things that are gonna dig that hole any deeper. So that's the thought process for me not racing this weekend. Just before I get a million suggestions in the comments of what to do with my knee, like, I am trying a lot of different things. Working with a PT for 3 years. I've been working with a nutritionist recently. I've been finding a lot of things that aren't the problem. And it is an ongoing process. I realized that if I'm not racing, Macky should probably race my bike, because I've been riding the JMS Portal, which is the 29er. And this course is like 100% a 29er course. Like, it is really pedally, which is part of the reason I'm like not gonna do it with any knee issues, because there's a lot of like little punchy uphills in the stages. So we decided that Macky should race my bike. But that means that we have to swap over a lot of things, and then he has to get used to an entirely new bike in like one day. Let's see how this bike swap situation is going. Looks like Macky has taken off all the wheels.
I just realized that there's no point in taking all the stuff off my bike because then we have to swap stuff from 2 bikes. So I'm just gonna put backup stuff on, and then all we have to do is swap 1 bike's worth of stuff.
The real question, internet world, is should I let Macky ride my nearly brand new oil slick Expedo pedals? Do we think he's gonna mash them into all the rocks? Not sure it's a risk I'm willing to take.
You're gonna let me ride your oil slick pedals? Wow, this is a big step in our relationship. No breaking them. I'm gonna try the Rylo chest mounted in 180 mode. So hopefully that looks pretty cool. I'm pretty excited to try it out. So here's the list of things I changed on this bike. The handlebars, because Sid runs 740s and I run 800s. The spring on the coil shock to a 400 weight instead of a 350. And the brake pads, because they had never quite burned in properly. Oh, and the saddle, because I have a man butt, she has a woman butt. So far, I'm pretty stoked on it. Ride's really nice. Getting fairly close to the top, so looking forward to trying out the first ascent, see how it feels. Wow, this bike, fun. I haven't been on a 29er in a long time, and it feels good. It's really fast in the straight sections. Definitely feel like it carries speed really well. I think this is the bike for this course. So I made it to the top of baby steps, and this is the stage I really want to see how this bike feels on, because it is the roughest and the fastest. So hopefully this bike just kills it, and then tomorrow feels even better. I can now comfortably say this is the perfect bike for this race. It ate up baby steps. I'm just stoked. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, and I really appreciate Sid letting me use this bike, even though I'm very sad that she will not be joining me tomorrow for the race. Good morning, everybody. It's Macky here. You probably can't actually see me. I am on my bicycle. It's like 5:15 in the morning. The sun is not up yet, just the moon. I am riding by the light of the moon, which is actually kind of cool. Well, I made it to race start and I beat the sun. I gave myself a little bit too much time this morning to get over here, but you know, better early than late, said me never. There you go, Moab sunrise. Not actually as spectacular as I've seen, so I don't know why there's not more color. Apparently I was the one who was the coldest and therefore the most ready to start pedaling. So I ended up leading off the entire pro men's field. Not that it really matters because we're all going the same place. It's race time. Well, that was stage 1. I had to get out of there afterwards because the complaining crew was beginning. They taped this and they didn't tape that and I can't deal with it, guys. That is my one complaint about enduro. There's so much complaining. It's like, listen, we're racing bicycles. None of us is gonna get rich. If you're not looking ahead and you can't see the type, you need to slow down because you're obviously going faster than your skill set allows. So anyway, enough of my rant about complaining. Now I'm complaining about the complaining. How ironic is that? Anyway, I think it was a decent stage. So hard to tell. First stage, your legs are always like, what are you doing? Why are we sprinting so hard? Can't we just soft pedal up this hill? Hi. Hello. I figured I would come ditch my coat because I don't want to carry it around.
You look so silly with that thing on your head.
My antenna. Woo! Oh, come on, Macky, get it together. Look up. Look where you want to go. stage 2 went well. It felt smooth, pedaled hard where I could, felt like I hit my lines, no issues, so I was happy about that. I have to say that one of the coolest parts about having this YouTube channel is having you guys come up and like say, hey, I watch your channel. Like that to me is so cool. Like I'm like, okay, I should keep doing this. This, like, people are into this and it means something. So big shout out to everyone who came up and said hello this weekend. Big shout out to our Patreon team members. You guys are the definition of be more awesome. Because of you guys, we're able to keep doing this. If you want to check out the extended cut of this video, go join us on Patreon. There's always more riding, more talking, more fun.
So I am heading over to the bottom of stage 3, which is Baby Steps Trail at Klondike Bluff. Definitely one of the coolest stages for sure. And I'm pretty sad to not even have ridden that trail this year. Bummer. I really wish that when I'm not racing, I could be a, better race support. Unfortunately, I'm usually not racing because of my knees, which means, hiking all over the place or riding all over the place to take pictures and whatever is just not really ideal. I did feel a little guilty though this morning when Macky got up at 5 a.m. and then I slept until like 7. Check out this rig, guys. It's like our van, only with a pop top. How cool is that? Maybe once we hit our next goal on Patreon, we'll go for like, $4,000 a month so that we can get a pop top on the van. So, if you want to see a pop top on the van, head on over to Patreon. I'm kidding, Macky doesn't want a pop top. I kind of do though. I mean, like, look how sick that is. It's freaking sick. Do you know how much those things cost? Sort of exorbitant. Supposedly Macky's gonna be the first person to drop. So now I gotta see if I can film and take sweet pictures at the same time. Here he comes. Go, Macky, go! Woo!
So that was my favorite stage. Baby Steps, stage 3 this year. It's awesome. Everybody's favorite stage, it's true. Unfortunately, about, I'd say 10 seconds, maybe 15 into the race, I ducked under a tree and didn't duck far enough and tore the Rylo off. Whoop, whoop. Someone up there found it, or yeah, they radioed up and found somebody and they found it and then they gave it to a rider.
Okay, hi. Does anyone have room and can bring down a GoPro that fell off another rider? Nobody? Thank you. It's Racer 4.
Okay.
And he's waiting for you at the bottom.
Sweet. Rylo
Thank you
too.
so much.
I want to keep this one.
Right.
I won't.
The stage itself was great. That bike is so fast and so much fun and just like...
You can't have it.
And apparently I can't have it. I'm not looking at times because to me, that doesn't help. If I'm doing well, then I'm like, okay, don't screw up, I have to do well. And if I'm not doing well, I'm like, oh, I suck at racing. So either way, it doesn't help.
So here.
Yeah, it looks like the tree hit there, and then it landed, well, that or maybe it got run over, but like the backside's pretty screwed.
I've decided that the best thing about Macky being on my bike is that I get to yell at him that he should ride it like he stole it, because he did. He stole it from me. Now I'm afraid I'm not gonna get it back because he really kind of likes it. Also, turns out I cannot film and take pictures at the same time. The pictures turned out bad. I haven't looked at the GoPro footage. It's probably pretty bad too. But I can do a lot of other things well.
Funny story for you guys. One time Sid and I were riding this trail and it started pouring rain and we had to hide under that little rock overhang over there for like 20 minutes. Stage 4, last stage, pretty stoked. These guys are stoked too. Charlie's stoked. Cody's pumped. He's not stoked. Well, that's the race. That last stage, Gnome, is short, but it's actually really pretty fun. Some people are like, oh, there's no flow. And it's like, no, there's Moab flow. Moab flow is a special kind of flow in that you have to work really hard to find any flow, but when you do, it's there. I did my best to be more awesome. I'd like to think I succeeded, but you know, you can always be more awesome. So I just looked at results, and at the present moment, I am 6th. There is at least one person who I think beat me who doesn't have a result for one stage, so probably 7th. Either way, probably top 10, so not bad. I had a good day. I really enjoyed the bike. It was a blast on these trails. I felt smooth, I felt fast, I felt in control. I think I'm gonna change and then go get on my moto, drop over to the place where everything's happening, get my wood-fired pizza, which I'm very excited about, and then come back over here and just hang out and enjoy the desert. Here we are, race center. This looks like the pizza line to me. This is the line where I want to be. Pizza! I'm supposed to give this to you?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Go for it. You would like that all pizzas, right? A ton of pizza. I think I had like 7 pieces. Delicious. They really nailed it with the post-race pizza. I'm sorry about the lack of POV and instead the PONWL, point of not where looking, as Sid came up with. Really sorry about that. Technical difficulties. It will not happen again. Really stoked that so many of you who were here came up and said hello. It was awesome to meet you. It was also really cool because we had a number of people say that they raced this race because we recommended it in our Best Beginner Enduro. So it's really cool to feel like we're getting people into the sport and like getting them to try their first race. So thank you guys for telling us that. Like, that's awesome for us. That's why we do this, is because we want more people to ride bikes and have fun and be more awesome. If you haven't subscribed, please do. We'll see you guys next time, and until then, don't forget to be more awesome.